welcome back to Bring the Juice. I'm your host, Frank Dalena. Per usual, the energy is high, the vibes are up. Today, I got Jordan Ta'amu on the pod. Yes, sir, out here in Nashville, Tennessee. I might have been here all day and just changed my shirt. I don't know. That's your judgment. Who gives a fuck, right?
First we gonna rock, then we gonna fold, then we let it pop, don't let it go.
So anyways, the boys are out here, the boys are bopping. As always, this pod is brought to you in part by our friends at Coors Light, the best beer on both sides of the Rockies, on both sides of the Mississippi. East Coast, West Coast, doesn't matter. Hot summer day, cold winter day, wedding, funeral, baptism, I don't care. Coors Light is the freaking drink to have when you're thirsty. Shout out to Coors Light. We appreciate you at Bring the Juice. Jordan,
Let's get it.
let's dive into it, brother. So we're just chopping it up right now, talking good times. A Hawaii man who went to JUCO ended up at Ole Miss.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me about just playing ball in Hawaii. What's the vibes? What's the mindset?
Yeah.
Did you ever want to play at Hawaii?
That was the goal. Like,
Really?
Just growing up,
Yeah.
I've always been to, the University of Hawaii games, got to see Coach Brennan play live action. I was right there, like second row, just watching everything. I feel like every kid in Hawaii had blonde hair with the Hawaiian Islands on their head. And it was like mandatory for Halloween, just for dressing up for football season. It was like everything. And that was kind of my goal, just wanting to play for UH. I went to a smaller D2 school in Hawaii called Pearl City High School. It was up in the mountains.
Who do you play?
We play like other like D2 schools, like, we play like Roosevelt, we play like IAEA, Radford, all these smaller high schools that you don't hear of. We never play like Punahou or St. Louis.
Oh, you're talking high school still.
Yes, I'm talking high school. Yeah.
Yeah.
So all that is D2.
I thought you went to D2 in college. I was like, bro, there's how many D2 colleges are in Hawaii?
There's a D2 in Hawaii. Yeah, it's crazy. There's a private D1 and then D2. I played at the D2 school.
Okay, got it.
So definitely one of the smallest schools there, but had so much fun. Wanted to go to UH, and all 4 years of my high school career, we went to championships, lost every single one, and it sucked. But
That
it
stings.
was just, yeah, it does. But that was the reality of it, and I was like, all right, I need to change something ASAP. UH, my coaches try to talk to UH and be like, hey, y'all need to recruit this guy. And, they're like, hey, this guy can walk on and play safety. They wanted me to walk on and play a whole different position. And I was not about it. And then that's when I got a free ride to that junior college.
Yeah. They said we want you. Had you been in New Mexico up to that point?
No, that was the first time ever, kind of leaving the island.
Yeah.
First time ever leaving the island was
Really?
for college. Yeah.
You never left the island before you went to play JC out
Never
here.
left it. I thought the whole world was like this, living in paradise. I thought everybody was just like this. Had no idea.
New Mexico's a little different than Hawaii.
So got there, saw tumbleweeds for the first time. I was like, this is the only thing I saw this in movies.
Yeah.
And just saw tumbleweeds and
John Wayne films. Damn.
aliens out there in
Yeah.
Roswell, New Mexico. Military school, so I had to shave my head bald. Had to wear uniforms every day. Had to march, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It was just, different. It was just a wake-up call for me to all right, I'm away from paradise. I have no family here.
Right.
And I'm focused on football. And that was my goal to get out of that, to go to a D1.
Right. So you get there, you develop. I mean, I've talked to a lot of guys about their JC experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Some have had better than others. Everyone's got the griminess of you don't got the facilities that a
Right.
Division I has. You probably don't have the meal plan. You don't have the academics necessarily. You probably don't have just, the same level of a party scene or the
Yeah.
chicks or anything that comes with college normally is different at a JC compared to, a bigger school. What would you say your darkest day of the JC was?
I think it's freshman year, right before season was about to start. I ended up tearing my ACL. I didn't even know it was my ACL till 4 years later. So listen to this. I tore my ACL apparently, and I go to the trainers and they're like, hey, you just torn your MCL. And I was like, okay, I can get back in a couple weeks, right? And they're like, yeah, let's just do a bunch of rehab and stuff and get you right back. And I was back maybe in 2 months, running around and playing on it, and that was pretty probably the darkest time was me being hurt that time. I didn't know what was going on.
Right.
And I was like, I need to do something, ASAP to kind of get some film out there so I can get out of this junior college. So I ended up being the second string quarterback that whole entire year, my freshman year. And I ended up playing a couple games, so that burned my red shirt. And that was 1 year down the drain.
Yeah.
Yep. So second year came, and that's when I I was like 100% healthy, and then that's when we had a quarterback battle, and I won that quarterback battle that my sophomore year. Ended up starting first game through 8 touchdown passes.
First game, 8
First game,
teeters.
8 touchdown passes, and like from there, I was getting calls left and right. It was insane.
8 times. Okay.
8 touchdown passes my first game.
Yeah.
And kind of just took off from there, and I was like the number 3 quarterback coming out of junior college that whole year.
I want to take it one step back, though, of the ACL miscommunication.
It was crazy.
That's crazy.
I know. I was like, that was my first injury ever. I didn't know what to expect,
Right.
and I went to the trainers.
My leg hurts.
I'm 17 years old too, so I'm
Right.
like to the trainers. I'm like, all right, what's going
Fix
on? Like,
me.
yes, help me out. Like, what do I need? They're like,
Right.
oh, you don't. I never did an MRI, never did an X-ray.
No
They literally just told me, they're like, they felt it. They're like MCL, and then 4 years
Is
later.
that just JC budget? Like,
I guess so. It was like our like training room was like 2 tables. It was insane.
but that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's almost like, I feel like it's like a liability standpoint for
athletes.
like fucking United States American citizens, bro.
Yeah,
It's like
for real.
Obama to like step in there. That's
Yeah, I know.
insane.
It was nuts. And
So-
I didn't know until the combine 4 years later. That
Okay,
was my
so
ACL.
so 8 touchdown passes, become top prospect JC.
Yep.
Coaches are after you at this point.
Yeah. And Ole Miss was number 1 on that list.
They came after you first,
Yep.
and you just.
And then other teams started bouncing up
Sure.
after that.
But loyalty kind of came into play, or what happened?
I feel
Why
like-
Ole Miss?
I've always wanted to play in the SEC school after, UH denied me. And that's when and then going back, UH offered me that after my sophomore year.
Well, now you want me.
Yeah, they're like, hey, you can be like 4th or 5th guy on our roster. And I'm like, no shot. Like, I'm not doing that. And
Who was their quarterback at the time?
I have no idea, honestly.
Anyways,
I really don't know.
yeah.
But they had like 4 guys just like in rotation. Like, it was crazy. And then, then Ole Miss I broke it down to top 2, and Ole Miss and Minnesota was my top 2. So,
Hey, I played Minnesota and Ole Miss.
yeah.
Both great programs.
Oh, great.
Minnesota's row the boat is fucking sick.
Oh, I know.
People sleep on that.
I wanted to take a visit there so badly, but I only took a visit to Ole Miss, and I was going to go to Minnesota.
You fell in love.
Fell in love with Ole Miss. It's the second I stood on campus. I saw the field, and I just felt that, presence, that energy that I can see myself playing here.
It's a sick community.
Oh, it's
too,
awesome.
Though. It's SEC.
Yeah.
Who was the coach at the time?
Hugh Freeze. He was
Okay.
there for a semester. Did spring ball with him, and then
Right.
that whole thing went down, and
Right.
then that's when Matt Luke stepped in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the development from JC, you decided to go from, I'm playing in Hawaii. I'm now moving to New Mexico, seeing
Yeah.
tumbleweeds for the first time. Ball out. I got options. Ole Miss came first. They came hungry. I want them. You decide to go to Ole Miss. Talk to me about your first, real quarterback competition battle
Right.
at Ole Miss, because it's a different level.
Oh, it is.
It's a
yeah.
different level. Who was in the
before-
room? Where were you falling? What happened?
Yeah, before I got there, I guess that's when Shea Patterson was there. A 5-star.
Of course.
He played a couple games. Before I got there, and they named him the starting quarterback as soon as I stepped on campus, and they needed someone with experience to be a backup,
Sure.
and that's what they told me. I've always wanted to compete. I'm a competitor.
Right.
That's in my blood, and I was like, I'm gonna just go there and compete, even though they have a 5-star already starting. If I went to Minnesota, I would have started right away because I don't think they had.
When did
anybody.
they name the starter? What time of year was this?
This was
Fall camp or
fall
spring?
camp.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they named him starter
In the
before.
spring, I'll say spring. Yeah.
Okay, spring ball.
Yeah, that's spring ball because I left New Mexico early.
Okay. So you were there first
I
day
was
of
there for
spring ball.
yep.
Got it.
And as soon as I got there, they're like, "Hey, Jordan, take the 2s reps." So I was there just kind of learning, taking the 2s, and then came the spring game. Thought I did really well. A lot of guys were like, "Who is this guy?"
Sure.
So it was awesome, kind of getting that recognition a little bit. And then when the season came, that's when I was named number 2. But the competition level from junior college to the SEC is totally different.
It's a little different.
It's so different where there was a lot of competition, but I felt like I was right there neck and neck with him. Great quarterback, great player, great friend, and just knowing that, and like since being second string, I knew my time was going to come. If
Right.
it was going to be from like injury or, poor, judgment or bad decisions, like I knew like I needed to be ready.
Yes.
So that's why I prepared every week like I was going to be a starter.
Uh-huh.
And then when my time came where he got hurt, LSU game, prime time in Oxford, Mississippi, I jump in there right before like the half and like drive down our team and score because of that injury. And then that's when I put myself and, my last name on the map.
Before we get into that, tell me a little about, I've had a couple quarterbacks on in the last couple months.
Yeah.
And obviously everyone wants to be the starter. And it's not like, it's different than wide receiver where they could rotate wide receivers.
Right.
You could be the starter, but still the backup could technically be in the right play and score a touchdown. Like,
100%,
it happens. Quarterback, it's very rare to have a two quarterback system that actually works. It's kind of one guy needs to drive the ship. But talking to a few guys who had to own that backup role for a period of time, and knowing like, hey, unless this guy gets hurt,
right.
or completely is just shitting the bed,
right.
I'm probably not going to get in today. How tough mentally was it to prepare going in? And I think giving a little bit of hindsight perspective is everybody was the MVP of their team in high school that played college football.
Right.
Everyone they were all league. They were all the man, the dude. And I think a lot of guys get humbled when they get on from high school / JC to college, like D1, where some guys go from the man to the man, and they're dogs. But more guys go from the man to like, hey, you got to earn your spot off the depth chart. You're not getting the pill.
Yeah.
You're not getting 15 passes a game. Exactly. You're not throwing for 8 touchdowns necessarily, right? And instead you're like preparing, you're locking in, but you don't really know what's going to happen. You're not getting that measurement of statistics that is so satisfying as a football player.
Yeah.
So preparing like a backup, was that a level of maturity you had to develop, or do you think you always had and you knew that there was a task at hand?
Yeah, I knew what my role was going to be going into that year. And, I took it, with a grain of salt. I didn't, I didn't get mad about it. I didn't get angry at the coaches of, hey, why are you not getting me more reps? I kind of stayed patient, prayed a lot and stayed humble and knew what exactly my job was going to be.
Right.
And I knew my time was going to come one day, and, I kind of prepared for it, and I've always, been ready. I mean, that's the best way to do it, is always be ready.
Sorry, Matt came in, fucking slamming Coors Lights and shit. So, okay, you get ready, your time comes.
Yeah.
You sling the pill, you score going in a half.
Yeah.
And then what from there?
From that second half, I mean, we're down by pretty a lot here, but
You're at home?
I'm at home.
What color jerseys you wearing?
I think we were wearing red. I remember I was wearing that one sleeve. I
Gray
had
pants?
Gray pants. Red
Navy
jersey.
helmets?
Navy.
Those are my
Navy
high school
helmets.
jerseys.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I had the one sleeve on and.
What color
had,
sleeve?
the
What color
bands.
sleeve?
Red. I had to go red.
Red tights?
Red tights. One leg.
I would have rocked
That's my
that swag
specialty.
too. Mac, are you a swag guy?
A what guy?
A swag guy?
Always got swag.
Okay, I don't want to talk about it.
right.
We'll talk about it later.
All right,
Anyways, Jordan, so you were rocking the swag, you're feeling good.
Yeah.
Was there just a level of confidence that came in that day or what?
I think as soon as I stepped on the field, I was like, wow, I'm actually living my dream.
Right.
And then I felt so confident going into it because I knew I prepared for this. I knew I was waiting for this opportunity.
Right. This
and
wasn't a
And
fluke.
it came. And it was I started as they were sending in the plays, and I was like, all right, let's do it. And I was just dialing them
Let's
left
go.
and right. And it was just amazing.
Good.
Actually, it was powder blue helmets with the red.
Dude. I think the powder blue helmets might be the best helmet in college football.
Oh, yeah. It was
No,
nice.
I'm not kidding. The powder blues is
In general.
Yeah. It's
mean,
top 5.
Yeah.
It
They're
has to
changing the
be.
game.
Okay, so how'd your quarterback career end up at Ole Miss?
So after that, I started the whole season after that.
Okay.
And, did really well. And let's just say my numbers were amazing. If I started that whole season, I probably would have led the league and led the
SEC.
SEC and everything if I started off that season.
Got it.
Then it came my senior year, 1, 2, and 3. This is my last year. I didn't have a red shirt, so I played 4 years back to back to back, where, I was named the starting quarterback in there. And then that's when Matt Corral came in the room, and he was the freshman, that everybody was, hey, maybe he can learn behind Jordan when we're
Right.
here, and then it's gonna be his show. So ended up like senior year, I killing it like the whole season, and I was leading the the SEC in like yards, passing touchdowns, all of this, and then that's when me and Tua was playing against each other, and that's when kind of Tua passed me for the yards, but had a phenomenal season, broke a lot of records at Ole Miss, and had the time of my life there last year.
Damn. So you and Tua go back to high school then?
Oh yeah, we go back way back from high school.
Tell me about that relationship with you and Tua.
Yeah, me and Tua go back to high school where his dad used to train me, him, and his younger brother Talia at this Eva Beach Park right down the street from his house. We would go to his church a couple times, but all the kids from the neighborhood would just come out and catch for us and throw, and that's where we started, was just going to the park every Sunday after church and just having everybody there, the whole community. And just watching those two throw and Coach Nalu coaching us was honestly a blessing. Was like so cool to watch. So just being able to play him my senior year.
What was that respect like after the game?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, everyone knew. I feel like everybody in Hawaii was watching that game. There was powder blue lays in the stands.
Fucking powder blue is so sexy.
It was so nice. And then first play, it was nuts. First play against Tua, like, throw a bomb to DK Metcalf.
I remember this.
Touchdown.
Okay.
Loudest. I think
At Bama.
I think Mac was on that sideline too.
At Bama. Mac was like, fuck.
It was at Ole Miss. It was at
Ole Miss?
Yeah.
Mac was like, fuck.
That was crazy.
Damn.
It was nuts.
That respect after the game. All right, so Ole Miss is done. It's time to figure out what's the next journey.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're in the position, the league's the next journey.
Yeah.
What was your mindset? What was the approach going in? Were you expected to get drafted at a certain point? Were you talking to teams during the season that you had a good vibe with? What was your head at?
I knew right after college, I knew I wasn't getting a bunch of looks, but I knew like some teams were interested, and I knew I wasn't going to get picked around, first or second round. So I knew I was going to be a late round guy.
Sure.
And I talked to the Texans, and they were so hard on me. They're like, hey, like we're going to get you at the end, third to seventh round, like between one of those. And
it's a big range.
It's a big range. So I was like, I could be a third round, which could be really nice, or seventh round. And like
signing bonus is a little different.
A little different, way different. But I ended up, watching that whole draft. Didn't get drafted at all. Probably one of the saddest days. But it definitely humbled me a lot. Like there's a lot of great players out there, so you just have to work that much harder. Then I got a call to do mini camps with the Raiders, and then with Houston.
Okay.
So I did mini camps with both, back-to-back weekends. Had to learn plays, do the whole mini camp thing. Ended up not getting signed, and then the XFL came out that first year, 2020.
Damn.
And then that St. Louis Battlehawks organization took a chance with me. They're like, hey, we don't know what this guy got. He's going to be the youngest out of all these other quarterbacks that got assigned to these teams. Let's take a shot with him.
Sure.
We're signing him to St. Louis, and that's when I got signed to be a Battlehawk. Was 2020 and 2019.
Get into this as much as you want. And I asked it because I've had other guys who have had experiences in drafts.
Right.
Baseball, football, and basketball are the guys who I've had on talking about drafts. And it's so unpredictable.
Yeah.
I have buddies who thought, oh, I'm a fourth round pick. They didn't even have their family in town. Mm-hmm. I actually have guys who thought they were going to get picked on the 3 through 7 day. We were at Chili's. And they get fucking drafted, bro. Second. Like, we're watching it, like, we're chilling. It's like that day, and they're like, hey, you're going today. The fuck, bro?
Wow.
Like, their family's all driving it up the next day because they're like, oh, maybe fourth, maybe sixth. Like, we don't really know what's going to happen. Yeah. I also have guys who thought, like, hey, my draft evaluation was third round.
Yeah.
They hold a draft party on the first day, which...
That's the worst.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Unless you know.
Yeah.
They have a draft party on the second day. Okay, we'll see how it goes. And then they have draft party the next day, and people flew from out of town to all this, and they don't get drafted. And they talk about it. They later on they have great careers, or they don't. Right? Yeah. They live from it. They bring the juice. So one thing in between. I don't know. As long as they bring the juice, who gives a shit? But my point is, everyone's draft story is a little bit different. I had a dude. We interviewed a guy who got drafted in the first pick of the second round in the MLB draft. He didn't think he was going to get drafted at all. His dad, who also played Major League Baseball, knocked on his door because he didn't want to watch it, so he fell asleep. He wanted to sleep during it.
Wow.
He thought he was going 2 days later, dudes get drafted. His signing bonuses, they had a number of hey, if we make at least $700,000 or $500,000, what was it, Jake? Something like that. 500 G's. It's like if I make 500 G's on signing, then like we'll go. Otherwise,
Right.
I'm coming back for another year of college ball.
Yeah.
Gets drafted way earlier than usual. Dad's knocking on the door. Like draft stories are
crazy.
freaking
Yeah,
crazy.
it's nuts how
And then you see dudes
it
who
can
go to the draft thinking, oh, I'm going top 5, and now they're at pick 26. They're
Yeah.
sweating like, yo, bro, I don't want to go home tonight.
Yeah.
Not drafted, right? But
That's definitely the one.
having your draft situation of there was a certain expectation that wasn't met necessarily.
Right.
It's a game of emotion.
It really is.
All sports are, but football especially. Like, you felt like you earned that. You were there at a certain point. You grew up with Tua, who's having this miraculous thing, blah, blah, blah. What was your initial, like, emotion of, okay, I know there's going to be a call coming, but I wasn't drafted. Was there a little bit of fire in you of pissed off, like, hey, I'm gonna go prove some motherfuckers wrong right now,
yeah.
type thing? Talk to you about that. I want to prove some motherfuckers wrong, because not enough people talk about the proving motherfuckers wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
emotion.
that was just that, that juice inside of me that was
Yeah.
like, it was kind of building up. I'm like, all right, if I get signed to a team or if I get called up, I'm
Right.
gonna, I'm gonna bust my butt and like do exactly what I need to do to try and stay on this team. And I don't care how many hours I need to put in. If I need to give up sleep, I'm gonna give up sleep. If I need to give up talking to people, I'll give that up too, just to to reach my goal.
The will to win.
Yeah, the will to win, and that's exactly what I had. The moment I got that first phone call, and I was like telling the coach, like, how every video is like, promise coach, like, I'm gonna work my butt off, like,
Right.
I'm gonna be there, like, early. I want to be the last one to leave. All this stuff, they're telling them that, like, hey, like, you picked the right guy,
Right.
for this whole situation. So, that's the, I'm not like a raw guy where I'm like running
Sure.
around, but I'm like type of guy where like if you need something from me, I'm gonna give it to you.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah.
X plus Y equals Z. No bullshit in
No,
between.
no, yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So since then, so you won the MVP of this, offensive MVP or overall MVP?
Offensive. Yeah.
Still pretty good. So now, where you at now? What's
Oh, yeah, so right now-
what's happening in between?
Yeah. So right now I'm kind of, just got done with that XFL season. Now I'm kind of training, did preseason or a week with, Minnesota Vikings.
Okay.
Did really well there. Thought I was
This
gonna
last
get-
week?
This,
Since
last
Kirk Cousins.
preseason.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
preseason, first week of preseason.
Sure.
And I thought I was gonna be, getting a call anytime soon. So right now I'm kind of staying ready in Nashville. I'm working this personal training job down at the gym in the Gulch called True Mev. So I do that part time just to stay busy, just to have some fun, and throwing three times a week, and staying ready for that XFL season that could start up in January, February.
Right.
Now there's a lot of talks of like joining with the USFL. So now I'm kind of
Huge.
waiting for that.
Would that be big? So like,
Yeah.
I was again. We've heard about that in the sense of like, the USFL is kind of trying to become almost like the equivalence of AAA baseball to
Yeah.
Major League Baseball. Correct?
Yep.
What is your I know you have the hunger of going back to the NFL
Yes.
and sticking,
Yep.
getting your shot,
Yes.
basically. Do you have a threshold? Do you have a point of, hey, this is a good idea, I want to keep pursuing it, versus there's bigger fish to fry, I want to start making money for my family, long-term
Yeah.
career type?
Right.
It's a gray area.
Yeah.
It's a gray
it
area
is.
because, what are you? You're 26?
25.
25.
Yeah.
I'm 26. Max 27. Max the old guy here. It's very unique because it's like, I want to play ball. I know I could play ball.
Right.
I could do this, that, and the other. A lot of it isn't necessarily just, ability. It's a numbers game.
Right.
It's the right situation in the right scenario at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
That's easier said than planned out and executed. But, I mean, Jordan, like, you know how life is. Are you thinking about what could be next? What would you want to do? What would be the next move?
Honestly, I've this past year I have been thinking about it. Just
Sure.
Staying here, just keeping myself busy. Like you said, I am 25. I'm still chasing the the dream
Right.
of the NFL, of course. But at the same time, like, all right, let's see how much I can squeeze out of the XFL, the USFL, and use that as my stepping stool to get back into the league and try to stick. Or, like you said, all I need is that one opportunity, and I feel like I'm gonna blow it out the water. It's just one opportunity. But I am thinking about it. I am
Sure.
like, you know,
You have to be.
you have to. Yeah, I mean, if you're not thinking about it, then what are you doing?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
so,
Do you
definitely
guys-
scary though, but
Oh,
yeah.
it's fuck, man. It scares the shit out of you. Mac, you ripping tequila shots out there by yourself?
No, absolutely.
I was going to say, this is sponsored by Coors Light. You know what, though, Jordan? One thing else I kind of want to brush on is the culture of being from the Rock.
Right.
Dudes are wired a little bit differently in the sense of, I need to succeed. I want to be the best version of myself. It doesn't matter what's in the way. And I'm a California guy from the Valley, gritty. You'll see us soon. But like, there are some guys out there that are a little softer mindset. They give up
Yeah.
too easily.
Yeah.
Do you think that the culture you grew up in helped put an extra layer of thick skin to callous you, to get you in this opportunity to be successful in the
Yeah.
position you're in right now?
I think it has. I mean, just growing up in Hawaii, we always knew like we won't get that much opportunity, so we
Sure.
have to use, you know, whatever we got. We had to just use that for, you know, just for us to, you know, kind of get out. And
Right.
you know, we go by the 3 F's in Hawaii, which is faith, family, and football. And that's what we kind of established ourselves with. And you know, we've always wanted to take care of our family, take care of our people because they took care of us. They showed us the support that we needed when we were, you know, small, all the way until now we're kind of, you know, making ourselves known. So
Right.
our goal is to, you know, take care of our family, make our last names proud,
Yeah.
and you know, just kind of give all the glory, you know, to where it's due. So doing all of that starts from, you know, in the household from Hawaii, just being that Polynesian culture also,
Yeah.
all about family.
Do you think Polys are the strongest human beings out there?
I think they are. They can.
I do too.
Yeah.
That's one thing. I'd say if you had to talk about like culture shocks of like college football for me, it was I didn't know Polys were that good at college
Right.
at football. And I get there the first day, one of my friends, Natani Muti, who we talked about, this dude's a freak.
Oh, he's.
This dude's a fucking
he's an
freak.
animal.
This dude, I'm like, fast forward, he hit 225 for 51 times in like a summer workout. With the record is like 49
Right.
at the combine. And we're like, holy shit, man. And this dude got drafted, I want to say 4th round. He tore each Achilles.
Wow.
He played 14 college football games, but still is such a specimen. Dude can do a
Right.
backflip. I mean, the dude's insane.
Yeah.
And that was my first like, oh, that guy's insane. But also, we played Hawaii every year. Fresno State plays Hawaii, and they play their ass off,
Yeah.
man.
There's some guys.
I will say, I am now in the sports betting realm. Shout out to Prize Picks. Use code JUICE. PrizePicks.com. $100 match play. Use code JUICE. We can look at our picks tonight. A lot of entries. Mac will get into that later. But one thing I would say, if you're a person who likes to put wagers on things, do not think it's easy to go win on the Rock.
Oh yeah. You can't. I mean.
Dude, hard to win on the Rock because
Yeah.
a lot of guys, myself included, I've never been to Hawaii. Let's play a football game.
Yeah.
Played Hawaii there twice. And then my junior year, I played in the Hawaii Bowl. Great time.
Yeah.
Great time.
It's amazing.
But it's a hard-ass place to play. A lot of distractions, a lot of things. Their culture is big.
Oh,
Not a
yeah.
lot of people went to the stadium back when they were still
Yeah,
had the
not a
stadium.
lot,
What,
no.
Rainbow Stadium, right?
Yeah, the Rainbow Stadium.
Not a lot of people went to the stadium. Stadium was lit, but not a lot of
Yeah.
people went.
Yeah.
But their away team locker room, phenomenal because it's the Pro Bowl locker
Right.
room. But I will say this. I've never almost been killed more in a football game than when I played Hawaii. I'm going to tell the story, Mac. You're going to appreciate this. This is a special teams white boy walk-on story, okay? Listen to me. So, I'm gritty.
Yeah.
And for some reason, they think I should be front line at kickoff this week. And I'm like, listen, bro.
How tall are you? How much did you weigh?
5'8", 162.
All right,
Okay.
I like it.
Gritty though, a gritty 162. I played punt return for 4 seasons. Okay. I played punt.
Yeah.
I played kickoff. I didn't want to play KOR. KOR is the most effed up
Oh yeah.
special teams there is. Front line of KOR is the most effed up thing you could do. You're backpedaling 25 yards. You turn your
around.
hips. some pissed off guy is running at you to kill you, right?
Full speed, too.
Full speed. You're backpedaling. You backpedal, you get two little steps. I'm trying to leverage somebody, right? We're playing Hawaii, and I shit you not. You could ask Juju Hughes this or Jaron Bryant, or Bryson Oglesby. And we're sitting there. We're on the front line together. These are all 3 starting safeties and corners. I'm like just the gritty walk-on fucking, like, I'll play special teams. Fuck it. I'm on the field, right? We're counting. I got the L5. You already know it's bad. I'm counting. We're counting. We're all huddled. They're all huddled. They're about to come out. I go, oh, shit.
That's right.
They all go, oh, shit. And I'm like, fuck, man. I'm a senior. My now wife's living in Utah. It was 8:30 kickoff Hawaii time, bro. That's like, you could have woken up at 4 in and watched the first half.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. So opening kickoff, I'm like, all right, bro. I gotta get this dude a lick, right? So I'm like, Frank, emphasize your strengths, avoid your weaknesses. Strengths, leverage. Weaknesses, getting hit head on. You're gonna lose this battle. His dude's 240, neck roll.
With the neck roll?
Neck roll,
Oh, no, you're
Pauly
over.
sleeve, the hair, the Palomalu. He was 43.
Oh, no.
Palomalu hair, sleeve, neck roll. I said, it's bad.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't have, I was an eye black guy. This dude had the Batman going.
Oh, yeah.
I said, oh, shit. I'm not kidding. My boys looked at me, they go, Frankie D, you don't need that right now. I was like,
What's the
go, bro. So I run back, flip my hips. And I'm like, this dude's like humming, and I'll get a piece of him. Enough to like knock him off his track. Kind of a little love tap,
Okay.
right? I'm thinking like, yeah, motherfucker. Bro. Dude kicks out of bounds. Our coach tries to have iron nuts and wants them to re-kick it instead of us starting on 35. I go, bro.
No way.
And the coach is going like this, again. And he's walking down our sideline as this special teams coordinator is going like this. Again, same play, same scheme. And I'm just like, you couldn't make it more obvious that this dude knows I'm going to do the exact same thing. He knows now I'm his block. Bro, I'm run down, this dude's running down. And I look, and you know how like you could see it sailed out of bounds. So I'm kind of running. He's running like this, trying to clothesline me. And I'm just kind of like easing up. I'm kind of like jogging to the side. This dude's still Usain Bolt, fucking 4.0 40-yard dash. I'm like, oh shit. I kind of like start jogging, and I do like a little speed up jog. He like hits the back of my helmet, the little peel spot where it said like "Go Dogs" on the back, peels off because he fucking slammed it so hard. He's like, I'm on your ass, and I'm like, fuck, bro, it's gonna be a long. We went in like 3 overtimes. It was like 12 kickoff returns in this game. And anyways, that was the most Hawaiian versus Hawaii experience I personally ever had as a player. Right. We won, but I don't know. I like Hawaii. We had respect after the game.
Those are the type of people you want on your team, for sure.
Dude, we had a bunch of them on our team.
Yeah.
I just had to go against one of them on their team. I was like, what the fuck's going on, bro? Let's go Hawaiian versus Hawaiian or something. I don't know. It's great vibes, though. I think that whole story is badass, man. I mean, what would you say, like, in your athletic experience, though, too? Like, you kind of heard me talk to some of these other guys on the pod about the mental side of the game of people see when you're at Ole Miss, like, hey, you're on SEC, you guys are playing Big Noon Kickoff, you're playing under the lights, ESPN1, Fox Sports, College Game Day, all this bullshit, and it's great, but at the same time, like, bro, you're a human being, you're an adult grinding for the craft. There's a lot of things that got through your head. What was something that you held on to as a player that you always had as a backstop, as something you could reflect back on that knew, hey, I'm going to be okay today. I'm going to be the best version of myself I could possibly be.
Probably just like my parents, honestly.
Yeah.
Great relationship. Great relationship with them, and like knowing how hard they worked, just to put us like through school and get us that extra training that we needed, back when we had, nothing. Yeah. And, sacrificing their time, their money to, all right, let's get this guy in camps. Let's travel and let's try to get him ready for, football season. And, they prepped me, just growing up, getting ready for all this. And then when it came to college, that's when I had to step up and become a man and do what I needed to do to make sure I was good. So, shout out to them.
How fast did you have to grow up from New Mexico to Ole Miss?
Oh, pretty fast. Where I was bald and I needed time to all right, now I'm gonna be playing the SEC and I need to sharpen everything from footworks to becoming a bigger built to take hits on, to arm strength, or I need to throw the ball far, accurate, fast, because that window's come. They close pretty fast in the
It's
SEC.
razor thin.
Oh yeah, so.
Okay, and then I've talked to a few SEC guys in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Is the SEC different?
Yeah.
How?
Everything's faster, stronger. Guys are just built different,
Yeah.
and you're just playing against a bunch of 5-stars who are league bound. It's
Right.
insane. So
I think Jake, I don't know if you remember, so we interviewed this guy named Christian Holmes. He goes by Sip. He plays DB for the Washington Commanders. Great dude.
Yeah.
Fucking A1. And he started off his career at Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think he played 3 years there. I don't know if you remember when Missouri wore the all whites and they had the snow photo shoot. He was the dude in the snow photo shoot. It's a great clip we have from Rain and
Yes,
Juice. Because I asked him, I was like, oh, did you guys wear those all whites? He's like, bro, that was me. And I was like, no fucking way. Anyways, his last year he transferred to Oklahoma State. OK State. They were pretty good at the time.
right.
And I just kind of asked, shoot my shot, spitting game like I do. And I was like, what was the difference between a respected, a ranked 17 Oklahoma program
Yeah.
versus a ranked 17 Missouri program,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he just said, he's like, your body hurts in the SEC constantly.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not saying these guys don't hit, they don't. He's like, but it's every week. He's like, people write off,
Oh, it's nuts.
Vanderbilt. He's
Yeah.
everyone hits. Everyone hits harder. They're stronger. It's more physical.
Yeah.
Practices, it hurt more.
Yeah.
The level of competition, it's all totally different type of scheme, different game. And it's how do you compare it to anything else? And I don't think you can. And I'm a guy who played at
You
Fresno
can't.
State,
Yeah.
to where I own my role, man. We covered against the spread against
Mm-hmm.
Alabama. We were no. Don't get me wrong. We got some fucking dudes. The dogs will bark when
Right.
needed. We're respected for the program we are, but at the same time, I understand the SEC it's a next tier. It is.
Oh, yeah.
I think Fresno State could play against any Pac-12 school. I think they could play against any Big 12 school. I think schools like a Texas and Oklahoma, I think they're gonna be a little sore
Yeah.
playing in the SEC. I think a school like UCLA, I don't know about USC right now because they got all this adrenaline and momentum, but I think a school like UCLA with all this conference realignment bullshit,
Yeah.
they're gonna be hurting a little bit
I think they
when
will,
they
too.
play this Big Ten. What do you think about this conference realignment stuff?
I don't know, man. I would just say leave it separated. But
Yeah.
if they want to come on and join the big dogs, let's see how it's gonna go.
I hate it.
Yeah.
College football is full of such tradition.
Yeah.
But this NIL thing's changing. It's
Changing, yeah, college football is changing for sure.
business is a business, I guess, man.
yeah.
What do you think your NIL valuation would have been?
I was making commercials left and right for them, at
Yeah?
Ole Miss. I don't know if you've seen that that security guard commercial. You need to watch it.
Wait, talk to me about it.
It's
We're gonna find this and pull it up.
Yeah,
Jake,
you gotta find it, pull it
make
up.
sure you clip
It's
this.
unbelievable.
Oh, you're the quarterback.
I
for
was
that
the quarterback. Yeah.
one? The one with the O lineman and you're on
Yep.
the golf cart.
Yep.
Talk
That's
to me about
exactly
it. Talk
it was
to me about
amazing. Our media team had such great ideas of all right, how can we push this out?
Yeah.
And we had a really good O lineman, and we. They dressed up as security guards and we had different films, different clips, and I was
Yeah.
like, I'm loving it. I'm like, you just get to wear my jersey to walk around. I'm loving it, and they play it every year, around football time, spring, it don't matter.
I've seen it a million times.
Oh yeah, 20,000 people send it to me every single year, and I'm like, oh yeah, start laughing emojis, all this, and I love it. It's just a great time.
I mean, that commercial alone's probably at least 20 G's for you,
yeah,
minimum.
easy.
Yeah.
Every time they play it.
Yeah, every time they play it. 20 G's for Jordan.
20 G's.
20 G's.
Just like that.
Yeah. Fuck, I love it, Jordan. Jordan, what do you got? What else you got, man? What else you got?
Man, nothing. I just I throw to Mac Hereford every time, every here and there. He's one
Yeah.
of the best receivers I've ever seen.
Are you in on that Dick Sporting Goods with him?
I was, yeah.
Oh.
I was in the little clip.
Yeah.
He was in the clip.
How'd that come about for you?
I mean, he was just like, hey, Jordan, you want to throw.
Mac came to you.
He came to me. He's like,
Right,
hey,
right,
I
right.
need you to throw for me. Like,
Okay.
no ifs, ands, or buts. And I was
Yeah.
like, all right, come on, let's go.
Only Dick's Sporting Goods.
Jordan he's not a part of the deal. He just is my quarterback that throws down.
Yeah.
You don't throw him any coin?
No, man. He throws me a T-shirt. He throws me a T-shirt once in a while, man.
Hey, you could take 10
I
Bring Your
need
Juice
help.
hats today. Don't let Mac get any commission off that deal. Well, shit, man. I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, your stories, I feel like it's so inspiring just for the dude who's like,
different. Yeah.
I think, first of all, for any dude in Hawaii playing.
Yes.
First of all. Secondly, any dude who goes from JUCO because they're betting on themselves for a
Right.
place, like, they didn't know where they would be, and now they have options. And, like, New Mexico to Ole Miss, that ain't New Mexico to Toledo, bro.
No,
Like, that's a
yeah.
big-ass jump. That's
Yeah.
a big shift. And then, your journey of tryouts in the league, seeing different types of, playing in different leagues
Yeah.
of, I don't know what this is worth. Like, what's a MVP in a different league worth
Yeah.
compared to having 2 good weeks in a rookie minicamp? Like,
Right,
what's
right.
what's the value of that? And I think you're almost like the test trial of it.
Yeah.
Of, hey, I'm the offensive MVP of this league.
Yeah.
This guy had 2 good practices with your minicamp.
Yeah.
I can fucking ball, man. He just
Right.
maybe he went to a better school, had better opportunities, or maybe he had a connection of this, that, and the other. Like, we're not the same,
Yeah.
even though we're on a similar level.
Facts.
And sports are a business to where a lot of it's a numbers game.
Yeah.
It's right time, right place, right situation, right opportunity.
Yep.
And that's why you got to have the mindset of striking while the iron's hot. And clearly, you're staying ready, so you don't have to
Oh,
get
yeah.
ready,
100%.
which is impressive. But your experience and the culture, I mean, I commend the shit out of it, man. Seriously.
Frank, there's
Appreciate
another cool thing. So it's wild for me to think, but Jordan played on the St. Louis Battlehawks in front of Taylor Heineke.
Wow.
Who's now
Yeah.
starting in the NFL.
So now he's,
So
he's
Tyler
starting,
Heineke
yeah.
was your backup.
He was my backup, in the
Wow.
XFL.
Because he went in. We saw what he did with the Commanders.
Yeah.
Had a couple awesome moments.
Yes.
And
Now
then
he's with the Falcons.
he just got the nod.
Yeah, he's just like literally with the Falcons now. So it was nuts. He was just like that vet quarterback, guy in my room where, if I had a question or anything, I would go straight to him and like, hey, like, what do you see on this? And he would help me out big time. And, that kind of helped my game and definitely helped his as well. But, really awesome dude.
Right.
Love the guy.
You guys stay in touch with
Oh,
him?
we stay in touch all the time.
Cool.
And
I actually had a buddy, Christian Holmes, same dude who plays for the Commanders.
yeah,
And I always ask my guest, I'm like, I'm an iron sharpens iron, dude. I'm like, bring the
Yeah.
juice. We're shooting our shot. We're growing.
why not?
I want to help you. You can help me do these things. Bada bing, bada boom, potato, potato,
Facts.
fugazi. And Christian Holmes, I was like, yeah, man. If you ever got any buddies that think they come on the pod, we were slamming Coors lattes at the time. And he's like, dude, my
the lattes.
boy Tyler Heineke would fucking love this shit. He's like, he loves to drink brewski. Taylor.
Taylor,
Yeah,
yeah.
Taylor. And whatever, Mac. And I was just like, that's good information to know, man.
Yeah,
It's good information to know.
he would love it.
I don't know, man. Is he like Coors Light?
I think he drinks anything.
Well, I hope he gets
That
some
guy's a
dubs.
beast.
I hope he gets
Oh,
some
yeah.
dubs.
hope
I
so,
think he's
too.
gonna do great.
He's starting this week, yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Someone
Yeah.
was saying that, I think it was part of my take, PFT was saying, like, somebody should bet on quarterbacks who aren't going to finish the season as quarterbacks because
That would be a good bet.
Taylor Heineke. Fuck, man. Edit this. Taylor Heineke. He's batting. Taylor Heineke is batting. He's batting 1,000 on it right now.
Yeah,
I mean, he's 2 for 2. I think he balls.
I think he does too.
Falcons are. I mean, I feel like that division's kind of vulnerable right now. Like, is that ice?
Yeah.
That division's kind of vulnerable right now. Like, anybody could kind of take it if they wanted to.
It's easy.
Is it one of those situations too where like there's 32 quarterbacks in the league? Let's say there's 2 backups, so there's 64 dudes,
Yeah.
right? Do you take the Thank you.
That was
Do you
good.
take the approach of I should be in that top 64?
100%.
Yeah.
If I had to write a book,
Sure.
the title of my book would be Opportunity. If I went to junior college,
Oh.
that team, they gave me an opportunity, I crushed it. Ole Miss gave me an opportunity, I crushed it. XFL gave me an opportunity, I'm going to crush it. So every opportunity I get, I feel like I'm going to lay it all out there and crush any opportunity that's presented to me.
Have you considered writing a book yet?
I need to.
You should, I'm not
Someone
kidding.
come help me write a book.
Dude, there's agencies for that.
Are they?
You Google it. I'm sure there's something.
There probably is.
You should write a fucking book,
I know, I
man.
should.
Opportunity.
Opportunity.
I'm gonna write one too. Juice. Maybe we could publish them together.
Juice with the core.
And then we'll make a movie.
Yeah.
And then Matt can make a movie. It'll be sick.
You want
Jordan-
to play me in my movie?
I love it. Jordan, I appreciate you coming on the pod,
appreciate
brother.
it, man. Thank you.
Guys, check out Jordan on all his socials. Check out his journey. Get your piss out, fire me up.
Yes, sir.
Subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe. Buy your merch. Buy your merch. Get your hot shit going. Get it going. Jordan, yeah. The all red. It's like signing day. It's even better. It's even better. It's even better.
Bringing the juice.
God,
over it
bring in
all.
the juice. It fires me up. It gets you piss hot. Don't forget, y'all. Keep chasing your dreams. Keep being
Yes, sir.
the elite version of yourself to chase greatness. And we will see you next week.